For Comedy Hype News, I'm John Abba. Thanks to social media, many comedians are finding themselves competing for likes and views. Complex would have the internet in an uproar this week after the platform shared a list of the 20th funniest people on the internet. The list that began to circulate on Thursday composed of several content creators including Funny Marco, 85 South, Kai Cenat, Cameron and Mace, Vince Staples, Gilly and Wallow, with Druski topping the list at number 1. Of course, lists like these always get people in a panic, as many would argue over who was left off the list and who deserves to be the top spot. Desi Banks, who arguably landed at the number 8 spot, would publicly express what he felt about being at that position on the list. When the Shade Room reposted the list, Banks will hop in the comments with his response. "Guess my black ass ain't shit. Dazam. Thanks for the fuel. Stuff like this motivate my black ass." Later, the Shade Room would catch up with Desi for an exclusive, where he would elaborate on his comment. He would later share, "I'm playing, but I'm not because I care that much about comedy, but it's all good. I'll keep doing my thing and elevating in the real world, doing real shit, also doing the social media, but it's my motivation." In addition, Banks felt that some women were left off the funniest people on the internet list. It could have most definitely been more women on the list. I know a few women. The women that's on there, I can't speak on people I don't know. If we talking about social media, I'm talking consistency of comedy for years. Folks they had on the list haven't even been around like that. Interestingly enough, with Banks coming out stating he's motivated to keep creating, speaks to the competitiveness of comedians. Now, earlier this year, the Neighborhood Talk would release a side-by-side of both Druski and Desi, asking their followers who they got. Banks will hop in the comments there as well and simply write, "Stop comparing me to Bra, please." This, along with Banks' interview with Shannon Sharpe on Club Shay Shay, would have folks wondering if there was any real beef between the two comedians. Now, back in February, Druski would appear as a guest on The Breakfast Club, where he was asked about a potential beef between himself and Desi Banks. In the interview, Druski would specifically state he's got no problem with Desi, but sometimes the public and media can make it seem like there's a problem when there isn't. Furthermore, Druski would speak on how competitive he is when it comes to creating comedy in the same interview. So what do you guys feel about Complex's list of rating the 20th funniest people? Do you think it has any real cultural relevancy? And what are your thoughts on the alleged beef between Druski and Desi Banks? Stay up to date for the latest news and content by subscribing here to the YouTube channel, and check out hypersclub.com if you haven't, to check out new and original content like full interviews. And if you enjoyed this story, send us a super thanks by hitting the button below, and you can tip us what you want to show your support. For Comedy Hype News, I'm John Alba.
Did y'all enjoy that? We got so much more for you at hypersclub.com. Our exclusive interviews and backstage content gives you the chance to feel a part of the club. Come on and join.